Well, welcome everybody to this week's Stay Connected webinar. On behalf of our After School Get Connected conference, I want to welcome you. Make a note on your calendars. The upcoming rescheduled After School conference is February 25th up in Omaha at the CHI Center. And we have a schedule posted and some information that you can access, and we will keep that updated information coming. So on behalf of our conference partners, Click to Science PD, Nebraska Extension, Beyond School Bells, Nebraska Department of Education, 21st Century Community Learning Centers, and see, did I miss anybody? Beyond School Bells, I think I got everyone. We'd like to welcome you to this webinar, and thank you for joining us today. This week's webinar features Andy Larson with UNL 4-H Extension, and he does extensive work with entrepreneurship and after school. So we're really excited to learn more about his work and resources that are available to us. So thanks, Andy, for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take it away.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I was excited to be a part of this. I was telling Kim right before we started the webinar that I'm actually from Minnesota. I moved here in January of 2020, but most of my work has been in after school, before and after school care programs, out of school time programs. So I'm really excited to connect with you all and see how we can better serve you and collaborate with each other and do some pretty awesome stuff. I really truly believe that out of school time programs, after school programs really are where kids can thrive and complement the school day so well, because they get to choose what they want to do and they're having fun, and it's really where their interests are, and it's exciting, and it's fast paced, and I love the energy in after school programs. So thank you for all that you do, and hopefully during today's webinar we can find some stuff that some programs and services that you'll be able to use in your programs, and maybe you can give us some feedback on how we can better serve you all as well. So my role in Extension is I am our innovation and entrepreneurship educator in the state 4-H office. So I provide support to a lot of our county-based staff. I'll help with program development, partnership development, stuff like that. And then I also work and help with our resident camp program in Halsey, Nebraska. So we're doing some cool stuff with entrepreneurship there, and really trying to rethink how we think about camping and how 4-H best serves all of our youth in Nebraska. So we're super excited for the opportunities we have there. So I wanted to talk mainly about entrepreneurship programs and services today with you all. And specifically our National Entrepreneurship Month, which is happening right now, actually in November across the country. But we have an incredible suite of free resources for educators across the state to be able to tap into during this month. And we'll share that with you all today so you have access to that. And it's not only us at 4-H and Nebraska Extension, but we also have some partners that do some really great work and offer free resources and curriculum and programming that are nationwide that we want you to have access to as well. So an interesting study actually that just came out a few weeks ago, you know, as we all know, we're recovering from a pandemic, and the Institute for Economic Renewal actually listed entrepreneurship K-12 education as one of their top 5 focuses for building the economy back and looking forward into the future and how we can best support our communities, and especially small communities across the United States. And I want to read something that really resonated with me, especially in all of the work that we're doing. So they said teaching entrepreneurial thinking in K through 12 is, again, one of their top 5 tools for economic renewal. But they said and I think this really resonates with all of us in Nebraska, especially rural Nebraska. But they said, with the extended decline in business startups, young people need to be presented with entrepreneurship as a potential career path. Entrepreneurs are needed not only to perpetuate economic growth, but entrepreneurship also has the potential to create a more just society by giving underprivileged populations the opportunity to build wealth through business ownership. And I think that's just an incredibly powerful thing. And especially in the work that you all do and we all do, we have this incredible opportunity to really, that's what we're trying to do at the core, right? Is to have youth feel their worth and reach their highest potential. And that's what I love about entrepreneurship, is it really can apply to any youth and any person in any field that they're interested in. They don't necessarily have to start a business or go into the business field, but and that's what our focus is at Nebraska 4-H, is the entrepreneurial mindset. And that's where I feel like it also fits in really well with after school programs, because we're not teaching necessarily hard business skills. We're teaching youth how to think like an entrepreneur. So an example of that is like problem solving, team building, idea generation, thinking innovatively. And those are all skills that they can use in their everyday lives. And when they grow up and grow into whatever field they work into or eventually go into, you're always going to be working with people and connecting and using those skills. So that's really what we focus on, is the entrepreneurial mindset. And I think that that's what youth really love too, because it's exciting. It's not like, what am I going to do? I'm not going to ever own a business. But we have had youth go through our programs and start their own business, especially during the pandemic. We had a youth out in Sidney, Nebraska, who went through one of our programs and actually started his own fishing gear business online. And now he sells shirts and other fishing accessories online. And he was like, hey, I have the skills to do this, and I did it. So, I mean, it makes me feel like I'm not doing enough. Like, this kid went through this program and he's starting a business, and here I am just like petting my dog at home during the day, So that's incredibly exciting. And we would love to partner more with after school programs and see how we can serve you. A lot of people don't know that a lot of our resources through Extension and 4-H are available at little to no cost to almost everyone. And if there is a cost to them, we love to work with like local partners, local businesses. A lot of times they'll sponsor these programs because they see the value in them. So we would love to partner and work with you and see how we can do those types of things. But I'm going to share my screen here actually and start talking about our National Entrepreneurship Month and the free resources that we have available for you. I'll also share the link to our resource page right now in the chat box. So you have that, and we'll send this out afterwards too. So this is a link to our newsletter that we sent to all of the educators, so like teachers, administrators across the state. And then I believe we're sending it to the after school listservs as well. And I'll share my screen so you can see that on here. Perfect. Can you see the National Entrepreneurship Month? I'm working on one screen today, so I'm trying to make sure that my million tabs aren't being shown at once. So yeah, incredibly exciting. We started National Entrepreneurship Month last year, and during the pandemic, we really wanted to make sure that youth were getting served, and we were being able to serve especially educators that were on the front lines working with youth in schools every day. You didn't have the opportunity to necessarily work from home. And this was really, it came out of the idea of like a thank you of like, for the work that you're doing. And here's how we want to support you through all of the stuff that you're doing on the front lines. And we actually focused last year all on fourth graders across the state. So we sent every single fourth grade teacher our Spark to Start book across the state, and then had some free digital resources that they could access. And that's similar to what this is this year. So I'll kind of run through this and let you know what each of these things are, and then how you can use them in your program. So you can click on this link to access your free resources now. And then you'll have a list of, it's like a Google Drive of materials and programs, but they're kind of highlighted. We love to connect locally to this cool stuff that has happened or is happening in Nebraska. So we really want youth to be able to see themselves being able to do these things in their communities. So most of our programs, we partner and have local mentors be involved in the programs, local entrepreneurs and business owners. So then youth can be like, hey, this person's in my community, they're taking time out of their day, they're awesome, like I can do this. And that's really what we want to do, especially again in rural communities in Nebraska. It's so important to create those and establish those relationships so people can see themselves coming back to the community and doing those types of things if they want to do that. A lot of times youth think that they need to come to Lincoln or need to come to Omaha or need to go to another big city if they want to be involved in entrepreneurship or business or larger companies. And that's not necessarily true. So you can see some of the resources here. You're learning about Nebraska entrepreneurs, the inventors of Kool-Aid, building and designing a string maze in your classroom and how that relates to entrepreneurship and thinking like an entrepreneur. Our Spark to Start book. So we're offering that. You can buy these or you can also access them digitally. And it's kind of like a workbook or like activity book. That's like a brief introduction to entrepreneurship. And this actually won several awards nationally. It's just very basic information of like, what is entrepreneurship? How can I think like an entrepreneur or solve problems when I'm at school during the day? Very simple introductory things to entrepreneurship. And then we have some other resources, as you can see here, that's like, what business could a student start today? So it doesn't have to be anything huge. A lot of times youth think like, I have to start a bit, Walmart. They think about Walmart all the time, or Target, or Burger King, or McDonald's, all of those big chains. And you can see the pictures here. It could be something like doing something you're already passionate about. And like, whether it's creating like greeting cards and sending them to people, or if you're really interested in dog walking, how you can use those skills to do something entrepreneurial with that and like make an impact on your community. So those are really cool. How can you solve a problem in your community? Those are like the most fascinating things. Like, as we know, like youth they don't have that fixed mindset like a lot of us do. And it's so incredible to like see them learn about the entrepreneurial mindset and solve problems in their community that like we would never ever think about. We had a youth team that actually went to globals through our first Lego League program. And it's our robotics program. But one of the things that they have to do in that, as part of that, is an entrepreneurial challenge where they have to solve a problem in their community and work with community leaders and actually develop the product. And one of them was, you know, when you're walking on a sidewalk and you come to the end of the sidewalk and there's that little square where it's like, it's raised a little bit so people can step on it and they won't like slip and fall. It's like that big brown square thing. I'm not doing a very good job of describing it because I don't know exactly what its function is, but they actually came up with an idea to put like LED lights around that. So when somebody steps on it, it illuminates it. So like drivers at night or when it's raining, they can see that there's like an actual person there. Because they were noticing like at busy intersections or when kids were walking home from school, that was an issue. And they went to like globals for that. And that's something that like adult engineers didn't think of. Like, that's why this stuff is like so amazing to me, is we don't provide them with a lot of direction in any of these programs. We'll say, we may give them a prompt and say, create this. And that's what's awesome, is they just run with it. We don't say, these are the steps you need to take. We're just like, think of a problem. We give you the resources and support to solve it. And then they come up with these amazing ideas. It's incredible. So we have some quick activities for your students to be able to use and exercises. Our entrepreneurship goose chase is pretty cool. If you've ever done a goose chase before, it's actually an app on your phone or like an iPad, and you download it, and we have different entrepreneurship challenges that they do. And it's kind of like a social media challenge. So, but you can document it all in an app and you get points for the challenges. So like, it'll be like, take a picture of you and your friends solving a problem. And then they take a picture and they get a certain amount of points for doing that. And it's really youth focused and youth friendly. So you can't really like make comments. You can just like the pictures, and like you can do videos and you can do other things. But this is a resource that even if you're not using it for our entrepreneurship challenge, I would look at the app, because I think that would be really engaging for after school kids and youth. I know a lot of times we want to take them away from using technology after school and that screen time, but this is a good way to like keeping them active, and they get to use that technology. So you're using it in a positive way. So it's not necessarily they're sitting on there and playing a game. They're actually learning while they're doing it, and they get to be on their phones or whatever, you know, that happy medium of doing that. So that's something that's there and available to you as a resource. That's pretty cool to check out. This is really awesome, and I think a lot of you would really like this, our Venture Lab curriculum. So Venture Labs is actually a partner with us. So if some of you may know them, they're actually based out of Austin, Texas, but they provide free curriculum and resources for youth, elementary, middle, and high school. And it's phenomenal curriculum that's available, and curriculum and resources and activities that you can use in after school programs and during the school day, or if you have a day off from school and you have youth that are in a full day program. These are available for free. And we have the link to that in our newsletter, but we also partner really close with them, and we've done a few virtual activities like during non-school days for school age care programs or after school programs. We actually did a few with schools I used to work with in Minnesota, where we would send resources to the school, kind of like a kit, and then we would actually present online and engage with them, which was really cool. So that's an option that's available. They're also really great to work with too, if you have any additional needs that you might want. They're very willing to listen and do anything that they need to do to make the experience better for everybody. Their whole mission too is to get curriculum and resources into the hands of educators for free. So I would really look at them as a resource and a potential partner And feel free to reach out to me or any of us at Extension, and we can create that connection and even use some of our resources to help deliver that programming. So we have our Tinker, Explore, Create kit. These are really cool. So these are kits that are entrepreneurship focused. They're really hands-on. It's for elementary age, so 3 through 5th grade, 3rd through 5th grade students. And it comes with 4 activities. So you get the curriculum, you get the materials you need. And we created this as our project of the year, that families can, if they're looking for something for their youth to do at home, they can order this kit, they have it shipped to them, and then they have everything that they need to be able to deliver the materials. So this would be something as like, I think of it as like a starter kit for like after school programs, where it's really made for like a few youth. But if you're interested in the materials, then you know what you need and you can order them, and you have the curriculum with you to be able to administer the activities for like groups of 20 to 30 kids. Really cost effective, and it's really, the lessons again are introducing them to entrepreneurship. So it's basic problem solving, teamwork, idea generation, those types of things that are really hands-on, and I think youth would really like in the after school setting. Any questions on any of the things I just talked about? Because that was a lot of information. Is there anything in the chat box? Let me see. I'll stop sharing here. Oh, Venture Labs. Yeah, they'll be presenting at the conference. They're awesome. I love them.
Yeah, there'll be a workshop by Venture Labs and a workshop using the TechBox curriculum. So both of those will be available on the 25th.
Perfect. That's awesome. Yeah. And Sandra said that a lot of the TechBox things, yeah, there's stuff that you can already use in an after school program. So definitely. Any other questions or thoughts, or even anything that you're needing or you see a gap in that like we could possibly help support, and whether it's lacking, it doesn't even have to be entrepreneurship related, but if there's any resources that you're looking for or needs that you may have like on an everyday basis that we can better help support in that area, anything like that.
Andy, are these resources appropriate for K to 12? Kindergarten through grade 12?
Yeah, so our TechBox curriculum is 3rd through 5th grade. We also have a middle school experience, which is more of a field day experience where we'll come out and it's like a Shark Tank quick pitch presentations. That one's really awesome. They're working together in small teams. They're given a product, a widget at the beginning of the day, and then they have to create a new idea using that widget in their teams. And they go to different factory stations. Usually it's done in the school day setting, but we have adapted this to after school settings. So usually we'll come in like, instead of the whole school day, we'll come in like once every week or once a day for an entire week. So that's awesome for after school programs, because then you don't have to plan anything. You know, we're coming in and doing all of that stuff. So that's middle school. And then our Venture Labs curriculum and resources, they have curriculum and activities available for K through 12. So we have resources, and even in that SMORE newsletter that I sent, put the link in the chat box, that has all of those resources are for various ages. So they work for everybody. Anything else? I would add, if you need anything or if you think about anything afterwards, I'll put my email in the chat too. We're always open to like new ideas. So if you want to partner, if you're looking for something and maybe you're not finding it on our website, reach out and say, you know, we would love to do this. certain program, or I have this idea, and we can make it happen. And I love like collaborating and new ideas. A lot of our programs too, we have a few high school ones that I didn't even mention today that's on our website, but we'll get those resources to you that we have funding for. So we can provide funding for startup costs, for stuff like that. So there are incredible resources. We're just looking, a lot of times we're looking for partners to be able to just do the programming and come in and administer the things that we have available to you all to use. So even if you like emailed me and said, hey, this is what our program is, it's 25, 30 kids, K through 12 or K through 5 or whatever it is, what do you have available? And we can make that happen. That's the thing that's exciting. And we want to work with you all and make sure that cost isn't a barrier. There aren't any other barriers. So reach out, definitely use us as a resource.
That's amazing. The resources, your support. I'm sure you'll have a lot of people reaching out, Andy, to
Yeah,
they
yeah.
think
And I know,
about-
like I said, being an after school, it's like the best thing ever is when somebody came in and like we didn't have to plan an entire day. Like we were just there to like handle like the behavior issues or like anything like that. So like I know what it is. So that's what we're here for, is to come in and like take that stress off and like do some awesome stuff with the youth that's exciting and different. So definitely want to do more of that, work with you all, because it's incredible work that you're doing. And I love it and I miss it. So I'd love to be in front of the youth more.
Well, we really appreciate it and look forward to getting you out into some of our programs after school and summer, right? Well,
Yeah,
thank
definitely.
you so much for your work and for sharing it today. If folks have questions, thanks for sharing your email address, and we'll post this recording and the links that you've identified so people can access that. So
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much.
our next Stay Connected webinar is November 17th, and we'll focus on nutrition and after school during that session. So thanks especially to Andy, and thanks everybody for joining today.
Yeah, thanks
have
everyone. Good to meet
great
you all.
day.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you next time.